All right, everybody. Happy Saturday. Thanks for dropping in. Probably just be a quick one tonight, maybe 45 minutes or so. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Obviously, depends on how much you guys engage, how much everything is happening. Plus, I have the lightning game on up here. So if you see me kind of looking up this way a little bit, apologies. I'm trying to kind of make sure I'm covering some bases here, making sure I'm following the bolts. And also, I'm set up. You might notice a little difference, but that probably doesn't look too different to most people. But you don't see the bottle racks behind me. I was actually set up in our dining area, which is where we used to do the old podcast, using the same mic that we used to do the podcast with. I'm not on the nice fancy Rode NT1As. This has decent quality. I know that to be true. I absolutely recorded almost 30 podcasts with it, so I'm positive that they pick up pretty well. There's a slight echo in here, but that usually gets kind of pulled out by the sound processor here. So if you're hearing something crazy, shoot me a quick chat. Let me know, please. I'll see if I can fix it on the fly. If not, we'll deal with it. Another reason I'm sitting out here, obviously, some of you guys know we have an older dog. When I say older, she's 16 and a half. And just want to make sure I can see her coming out of the room if she needs something. If I'm in the office, it's way over there. And I hate to close the door on her. She had a tough week. But we'll see how that goes. But absolutely glad everyone's here. Hope your week was great. Thank you for showing up tonight. I know we were supposed to be on last night, but to be honest with you, I just had a week, and so I didn't have the energy last night. I wasn't gonna be able to put this on. I wasn't gonna be able to actually smile. It wasn't a bad thing. I didn't have a bad week in any way. I just one of those days where you're like your bank's empty. All right, let's push this off. I'd rather do that than not. And it's funny enough because actually I decided today to kind of play on that a little bit and have our first non-alcoholic drink on the show. And you're like, Nate, what the hell? Are you kidding me? But no, we're going to occasionally have non-alcoholic drinks. We're going to get out to coffee at some point, maybe even mocktails. But one thing that I thought would be kind of fun to just spin in, it's not something I drink very often, throw in some energy drink and on occasion. And it's not going to be a segment on the show or anything like that unless you guys really love it for some crazy reason. If you do, let me know. We'll figure that out, I guess. But you always see these drinks and the celebrities and all these kind of things. And you're kind of like, what the heck? Does it even taste good? Does it, what's the case with this one? What's the case with that one? If you guys aren't familiar, the Rock, Dwayne Johnson released one not too while back. It's called Zoa. So we're gonna give this one a shot tonight and see how it tastes. I'm not gonna drink the whole thing. I don't need the whole thing. Frankly, that's a ton of caffeine at this hour. Ooh, good sound. So of course it's a pop top, but so we'll see how this goes. This one in particular is a super berry. I don't know how super it's gonna be, but give me a second. Let me tell you a second. Just what you'd expect. I mean, I don't know what I was expecting if there'd be any different. Vitamin-y tasting, definitely a berry flavor. Nice, sweeter, not quite chalky. Some of these things can, even though they're not dry, they can tend to feel chalky. Interesting. If I was looking for a pick-me-up, not as carbonated as a Red Bull or a Monster either. So it's a little flatter. There's some carbonation in there, but it's not as heavy, and it's fun. But I just thought I'd throw it out there. We're going to try and do more non-alcoholic stuff occasionally too, just because, we don't just drink alcohol. We drink water, drink all sorts of other things. But again, if you have any thoughts about what you'd like to see us do outside of what we're already doing, bourbon and craft beer primarily, maybe throwing in a little tequila and cocktails here and there, anything outside of that, let us know. It'd be great. Would love to actually get the feedback. I'm going to pull my phone out here in case something comes up. So sorry about that. Absolutely. So we also wanted to take the top of the show here while we have a few of you here, making sure we remind you July 8th at Corporate Ladder Brewing is the official channel launch party. It'll be 6:30 to 9 p.m. We've locked that down. Love to see as many of you as possible. We'll absolutely have a beer special on and raffles and maybe a few other surprises beyond that too. So we'd love to absolutely have all of you down. If you're not local, perhaps we'll look to do something in the future as well if you cannot make it down. But if you're not local, it's a great excuse to have a vacation. Come on down. Absolutely. The Tampa Bay area is wonderful, has a lot to offer by way of spirits, beer, beaches, pools, whatever. I mean, come on. You really want to get away from wherever you're at and come here. Although maybe not. Maybe there's a few places that are wonderful. But please, July 8th, again, I'll probably have another promo video here very soon. I think the beer is very close that we can give you a lot of details on. And so we have our first chat for the evening. It is wife Sarah. She says hi from Utah. That was kind of another reason last night. And of course, a little bummed. Wife Sarah, she's out in Utah. This is the first time I wasn't able to go to her conference with her. And so a little bummed last night, but that wasn't the whole reason. Really, it was just I was mentally drained from the week. So I appreciate you guys absolutely just kind of picking up, coming tonight, and we'll move on with that. But like I said, it probably won't stay on super long tonight unless you guys are really chatty. I'd love it if you were. I'm going to start off with a beer this evening. And I actually found this one in the fridge. I didn't even realize it was in there, to be honest with you. It's a Goose Island. It's their 2021 Bourbon County Cherrywood finished. So bourbon barrel, cherrywood finished, proper glassware. This is a Goose Island barrel house. You can get the sound in there a little bit. I know some of you guys like that. Some of you guys don't. And we're going to absolutely just give this guy a little smell. Definitely get a little barrel off that. Oh, cherrywood, actually. Shocking, right? Hey, they said it. They did it. I mean, imagine that. That's really nice. That cherrywood actually kind of, I won't say dries the beer out. It doesn't make it astringent, but it absolutely takes the big, creamy, chocolatey stout and really just give it this little bit of touch of some woody, oaky character. Not quite oak, because we talk oak bourbon all the time, right? Cherrywood is not oak, but it gives it more of that earthy, woody character to it. Very enjoyable. I'm gonna let that warm up a bit. Obviously, I've had it in the fridge for about 10 minutes, but definitely still too cold overall, and craziness. So I know you guys are out there. So give me some chats. Talk to me a little bit. Tell me what's going on with your week. Tell me what you're drinking tonight. We can pull up that banner too and ask you what is in your glass, if anything. Hopefully you have something in your glass. If not, that's okay. I had this Azoa to start off the show, remember? Doesn't have to be alcoholic at all. And I am absolutely sure there are more of you. So crazy day. How was your week? How was your day? What'd you guys get into today? That's what I want to know. And then what's in your glass? I'm kind of stretching a little bit to give people a chance to come in, see how they're doing, see what's going on. Let people build in. I'm seeing some people kind of join here. So absolutely. Tell me what's in your glass, folks. I just poured, for those of you that just came in, Bourbon County brand Cherrywood Stout. So from last year, doing pretty okay. I'm pretty happy with it. You know, Bourbon County, they've had some quality issues through the years here and there. This one, not a victim of that. So happy to report that in particular. We'll see what's going on. That's really enjoyable. I'm kind of sad that I won't be drinking the whole thing tonight. I can't. I won't. I just can't sit down and kill even a 16.9 stout anymore. The 16.9 ounces, it's just too much. But I'd love to. I mean, I probably hate myself tomorrow because I have that stupid craft beer headache that I've been getting for the last year or so. It's such a weird thing. I don't know if any of you guys experienced that, but it's something that's really started happening for me in the last year to 18 months. It wasn't just the pandemic. It was just really started happening. It doesn't really matter if it's stouts, lagers, whatever. Oftentimes when I drink just craft beer for whatever reason, I think it's because they tend to be higher in residual sugars. That's the only thing I can really come up with, to be honest with you, because there's adjuncts, which, you know, that could be the case too. I don't know, but I tend to think like it's probably the sugar content, because even some of most of your lagers aren't going to have a ton of sugar. That's the real problem with that statement, right? But residual at least. So who knows? I couldn't tell you, but it's just what I'm experiencing. If you're experiencing something like that, let me know too, because I'd love to like actually chat with someone else. I know occasionally wife Sarah has that happen too. It's a little more hit or miss for her. But then again, she's definitely not a big dumb animal like I am. She tries to kind of pick and choose her battles where she drinks her beer. So it's a lot less concerning for her than it is for me. The other thing is I've just enjoyed the other brown water a lot more. You know, this one, the one I won't show you what that is just yet. You guys have to stick around and find out what that is. But that'll be the third drink this evening. And, you know, still looking for somebody to tell me what's in your glass. Wife Sarah, if you're out there, you got to have something in your glass right now, right? What you got in your glass? Take that down for now. You know what? Let's play around with this a little bit well, we've got a couple of you out there. Water. Yes, you needed to hydrate today. You are correct. After flying yesterday and 2 days ago, or no, yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. And definitely everything you've done, you've been walking around Salt Lake City like crazy. If you guys have any suggestions for Sarah, she's out in Salt Lake. Yeah, throw them in the chat. I'll put it on the screen, or I'll tell her. She's downtown Salt Lake, so she can pretty much get to anywhere nearby. She doesn't have a car, but it doesn't stop her if it's close enough to Uber. We could certainly have her Uber there and have her give a full report. We'll bring her on next time maybe when she comes back here in a little while. We'll see. She may not love that idea. I might get one of those down thumbs here or something here soon. I don't know. But I've never been to Utah, so I couldn't tell you. I don't know. But if, like I said, if you guys are in chat here and you're on YouTube or you're on Facebook, drop something in there if you've been to Utah and there's something you think she really needs to check out, in particular if you know it's near downtown. I'd love to have that pass along, or just be able to share that information. That's the kind of thing I love when we go on vacation. Obviously, it's not all alcohol related. I mean, it feels like it sometimes, because you're always like, where are we going to go to dinner? Where's a great drink? Where's a great cocktail? Are there any cool breweries? Now, are there any cool distilleries, or any, even if they're not cool, is there any distilleries nearby? Checking all that kind of stuff out. And I know Utah has a few distilleries, but she went to Red Rock Brewing today, which I guess is fairly close to the hotel, obviously. And she seemed to enjoy that. So that was pretty cool. So out on top of that, if there's anywhere else you would suggest she would go, throw it out there. That'd be wonderful. I told you guys I'd probably only do quick stream this evening, just a little bit, just to make sure we're out there and we're staying active. It was more like a pub. Oh, cool. Yeah, you told me that earlier. This is one I've been excited about, because I've not been too impressed with this brand yet. And it's not like it was terrible. But my first experiences, the liquor laws there are crazy. I vaguely remember watching a YouTube video with you about them. And I don't even know. I know if it's like a restaurant versus a bar or a pub, they have different rules. So we'll probably have to, we may have to have you on and talk about your trip and tell us all about that, because I think that'd be pretty interesting. If anyone's been there, feel free to tell us about what your experience is there. But jumping into the bourbon. So this brand in particular, I haven't really been blown away by any of their product. Now, again, I have not had any of their select product, like single barrel type products and things like that. So this will be the first time I'm doing that. For those of you not familiar, if you didn't see the bottle, this is Stellum. And these guys I know did source barrels for some time. I'm not sure. I believe it doesn't tell me. Still in Indiana. So you and I both know what that means. There's a pretty good chance it's MGP juice, which is okay. A lot of people start off that way. They either choose to be NDPs, which are non-distilling producers. What's up, Nick? What's going on, buddy? Or they just start that way while they're making their own distillate and their own distillate age. So this happened to be a pick that I picked up in New Jersey. Just happens to be, I've been in New Jersey twice this year, of all things. It is selected by New Jersey Standard Group, which supposedly these guys pick some pretty good stuff. It's a single barrel, and it's clocked in at 122.06 proof. It is the bourbon, so it's a single barrel bourbon. So I'm really excited because, like I said, I have yet to kind of run across any of the stuff that I've had, which hasn't been much, admittedly, that really blew my socks off by these guys. And so, okay, that's worlds ahead of like their other bourbon, just off the nose, right out of the gate. But let's let that sit for a minute. I don't have an age statement on this one, so I have to assume we probably have, just based off color alone, probably have a mixture. I mean, they blended, and there's no doubt. Or no, single barrel, I'm sorry. So this has to probably be something with some age on it. Not big age, but at least 4 years, right? Calling it a bourbon out of Indiana, so it's got to probably have something. So, yeah. Hey, good job, Nate. Way to walk through that one, dumbass. I'm getting a little bit of caramel, which is weird. I'm not great at caramel. I'm not great at pulling apart the sugars on the nose or the taste for that matter. But when I identify one, it's kind of strange to me because I really do feel strongly about it. So it's either that caramel or almost that creme brulee burnt a little bit. Not burnt bad, of course, but so let that open up for a minute. This is a fresh bottle pop tonight. And so obviously this is the quote unquote neck pour. So we need to let it breathe a little bit or else we're going to potentially be like, and then we'll come back to visit in a few weeks. Like, what the hell is this? This is not what I tasted before. Nick, what you got in your glass tonight, dude? Throw that up there while I'm waiting on that to kind of aerate a little bit and come up. Tell me what you got going on, man. Or what you don't have in your glass or what you want in your glass tonight. I don't know. You tell me. Man, it smells familiar. And not just because it's MGP. I know. Haha, you guys like tell me all right. Whatever, it's MGP. Of course it smells familiar. No, it smells. It's almost got like a mash bill 2 like quality to it. Now that it's kind of opening, I mean, that what I said about the caramel a minute ago, of course, is not as prevalent now. We'll take a first sip, but then we might have to come back to it in a few minutes, let it sit. Okay. For 122, it didn't hit. It didn't hit me, and I like that. I don't mind that at all. When something's, up there in strength, you're usually going to get that bite. Now, I'm feeling my chest just a touch now as we're talking. And absolutely, it's there. Jefferson 9-year. Good pick. Yeah. Listen, I thought about, so I made a purchase today. I originally went down to pick up a Stag store pick, and they ran out. They didn't have it. So I did get an Eagle Rare store pick. So, poor is me, right? But then I did stop and get it. I know wife Sarah's listening. It's fine. I did stop and get another bottle that I've been wanting, and I'll probably open that on stream at some point in the future. I got a Kayam at 16, so was happy about that. I got it at Dive down in Sarasota. Super happy. Man, this thing is lingering. See, I told you the sugar, all the sugar flavors, right? Really throw me because now it's butterscotch. And I'm definitely butterscotch on it. And I love it. I dig it a ton. It's butterscotch. There's a little bit of star anise in there, maybe some baking spice or star anise. Not a lot. I don't want to throw people off and be like crazy. But again, this is a store pick from New Jersey. I'm not sure you'll ever get this exact one. But the long finish is just really there. It's just mid to back palate. Just actually still some of that sweetness a little bit. But definitely that baking spice / star anise coming through. This has been my first enjoyable Stellum experience, like really enjoyable. They've all been palatable. Don't get me wrong. It's not like they've been trash, but it's just been something that, and you guys have heard me already. I'm sure if you haven't, for the longest time, I used to be like, well, Stellum backwards is Mullets, and that explains a lot. And I'm going to take that away now. I don't think that's appropriate. So I'm sorry, Stellum. My apologies. You guys do have some nice juice. It is what it is. It's just strange though to like they're sourcing obviously, and so the single barrel stuff that they sourced, well, and that makes sense, right? They run across one single barrel that's excellent. Might even be off profile from their blending, which it definitely is from whatever they're blending for their base bourbon and their base rye. I actually thinking back now, their rye I really was not a fan of at all. It just again wasn't technically bad, just wasn't a fan of it. But the bourbon was okay. So I'm happy with this one. This one is one that I look forward to revisiting. Who knows? I'm gonna sorry, the lightning just started. So I'm gonna try and keep from not watching. But you got the hat, you got the blue shirt. I don't know if you guys pick up on game nights. If I'm on, I try to put on at least the blue shirt. Normally I have the blue lights if I'm in the office. Don't have those tonight. So we're in the penalty box area. That's great, guys. But what would you guys think? So let me ask you this. There's a few of you out there now. So I don't know if this would be a thing. Would you guys be willing to, like, if I could figure out a way to do it, go Bolts. All right, go Bolts. Would you guys be willing to like have like intermission shows like you could jump over while they're in intermission or things like that, or NFL halftime type shows? I'm just trying to think of ways that I could really engage with people that's live, because I enjoy the live medium. But here's the thing: I know the live medium is not where you end up making the ultimate impression here. It can be a thing. It can be the long podcasting thing, but drinking some Esker Hart. Oh, hey. Okay. Sorry, guys. So I'll come back to that question. Keep that in mind. If you guys have any thoughts, throw them in the chat. Pregame. Okay. So you want me slosh by 1 o'clock on Sundays, Nick? I see how you're doing there. Michael Walker, Esker Hart. Awesome. We had one of his stouts at Tap House 15 when we were up there doing the pizza crawl. And for those of you guys that don't know, Esker Hart is a gypsy brewer. Essentially, he's a home brewer technically, but he's a gypsy brewer in New Jersey. And because they allow a lot more than some other states, he's able to have his beer on tap at restaurants and things like that on occasion, right? He can't go full production, full distribution, but through some agreement or something, he's able to do that. And apparently he's had multiple beers. They just happen to have the stout left over. And so that was wonderful. So Esker Hart's awesome. I'm so happy for you, Michael. Dude, that guy's, he's got a nice stout. I mean, I wasn't blown away by it, but for like something coming out of that area in particular, if it's not Troon or maybe not a couple others that are doing some really good stout game from that area, he's got a lot going. So I look forward to seeing what happens with that guy. But yeah. All right. So that's awesome. So pregame. Okay. I could see that. We can probably work that angle. Because I think pregame is really all I'd want to commit to anyway, because, if I'm going to continue drinking throughout the day, I'm not sure you guys want to see my face on or around 2:30, which probably wouldn't be too bad, but then come with the intermission 4 to 4:30 and definitely halftime by the 4 o'clock games. You guys are probably like, I don't want to see your face. I don't want to hear Tony Romo's voice, and I don't want to see your face. Neither of you, because you're both like annoying the fuck out of me right now. So, but I know if it was Tony Romo, he annoys the shit out of me. Man, this is actually really good. This is just, this is the worst part about all this, right? Like, so as you start to unravel the bourbon stuff, you definitely find stuff you like that you're just going to have on your shelf. Fuck. Yeah, you know what that means. I looked to the left and said the F word, so that's not good. Anyway, but I've been finding myself with store picks lately. So, and that's a product of a lot of things, just in all honesty. Down here, oh shit, yeah, Romo's on Monday night. I forget. From what anyone else telling me, his buzz through IG, which is on financial backing. I could do like a weekly pick'em show. That could be fun. We got a couple things going on here. I'll hold the conversations together as long as you guys are jumping in there talking. So Romo is Monday Night Football now, which ruins Monday Night Football. I'll go to Manningcast 100%. I'd rather listen to Peyton run over Eli any day of the week. There's no problem with that for me. Plus, I wouldn't be shocked if you end up having some more folks in the Monday night simulcast game and or Thursday night simulcast game. Actually, I know Thursday night's ripe. In fact, Pat McAfee, it's been little to no secret that Herbstreet's been trying to get him on Thursday night somehow. So I wouldn't be shocked if he spun up a Thursday night. It would just fit with his schedule and everything too, right? McAfee's schedule. So don't want to go off on McAfee. Well, I adore the guy. I respect him from a business model and things like that. Let's not nerd out on that shit. Let's keep going. But yes, let me come back to this. So Esker Hart. So yeah, that's the exact thing. Same thing Andy was telling me, Michael, about Esker Hart was essentially he's interested in doing commercial, but right now this is the gig he's got. And yeah, what's that mean, Nick? No store picks up your way, or what's going on? Like, I know there's plenty of store picks. I've seen some other people's shelves up there that have watched the stream before, and I know there's some plenty of places. They are hard to get in some cases. Like this same place where I went today, obviously I mentioned they had a stag. They got it Thursday. They were sold out by last night. There was no way I could make it down there last night, unfortunately. Not with pushing the stream out. And I was beat, so it was good. But I'm happy. I mean, absolutely. I got 2 Eagle Rares out of it, so can't complain about that. This is delicious. Man, I can't get over that. Yeah. Okay, sorry guys. When it's by myself, I don't have the luxury of sitting here really reflecting and sitting. Otherwise, you're just like, wow, this idiot's just drinking and sitting in front of us, which I kind of am, but that's okay too. So I don't know. But no store picks per Oh, the group picks. So like you guys have to buy the barrel essentially, right? And then like somebody has to go pick it up because it can't go through the distributor. Is that why? Is that how I understand it? And that does suck if that's the case. I mean, it's a little bit the same here, to be honest with you, but we have a lot of store owners down here that are willing to step in the middle of that and actually have it brought in their store. And then if the bottles they take, yeah, that's what I thought. And then if the bottles they take for their inventory, they choose what they do with the pricing on that. And so, but you know, they work out a pricing with the club that's somewhere between what the actual cost is and MSRP, and usually it's not very much markup. So, man, that sucks. I'm really. You also see the other problem that I remember, and I don't know if this has changed, but I don't think it has. I'm into Dayton, except with the exception of last year for my sister and stepmother. Um, they were both in the hospital at the same time. Um, they don't have any big box liquor stores either, right? Like there's no Benny's. Benny's hasn't gotten down there. Total Wine is not there that I can recall. So you're relying on, mom and pop liquor stores or whatever chains. Like I know in Toledo, there's one of the grocery stores that is actually one of like the more popular liquor establishments. And that really hurts too. As much as it sounds crazy, like we have two chains down here, not three chains because two chains is the rapper. And so that's a bad joke. But we have ABC and we have Total Wine. In some parts of the states, there's a third little kind of up near Jacksonville, up in Tallahassee. There's some little grocery chains that carry a lot. But otherwise, we have a lot of mom and pop shops. And so that's what carries us. When you hear me talk about Dive, say people that own Sarasota Liquor Locker, they have two stores. When you hear me talk about First Avenue Liquors in St. Pete, she owns three stores. And you hear me talk about, well, you don't hear me talk about Bobby as much, but Bobby owns two stores up a little further north. And so they're able to kind of get on the radar of these guys, and they're able to go up and do the picks and then work through their distribution partners and have it brought down here. And it's unfortunate that Ohio is just tight butt about it because, it really isn't that. I mean, look, Kentucky realized it was such an important part of their commerce that they went and made sure it was something that could still continue. And so to recognize that, another state needs to look at that and go, hey, if our constituents in our state really want something like that, Kentucky made it happen, because that was going the way of Kentucky shutting down barrel picks. I mean, the letter of the law actually said they should never have been doing them to start. And so, but when you have a state that still has multiple dry counties in it, come around and say, hey, listen, we recognize the consumer is out there and wanting this. It sucks when I hear like states like Ohio and some others are just really behind, and it's not surprising, unfortunately, but it's one of those things like the old 3-tier system, some of the old liquor laws that we have in this country are just terrible. But I could go on about that, and that's again nerd crap, but I don't know. But yeah, so that just means that I need to get you a store pick or two and make sure that through mutual friends you're able to enjoy that. Yeah, that's all that means, right? That's what that means. So, whoa, we have a brand new. Okay, so like, interesting. I don't know if I was dropping frames there. If I was dropping frames, I think I understand. Sorry, on my display that I looked down, it's almost right at the camera level. I have to look down a little. There was a new icon that just came up that I'd never seen before, and that's what I was kind of looking at there. It looked like a web strength thing, and of course, I'm not connected here. I mean, it's Wi-Fi. It's not hardwire. I wish. It's one of those things. Like if I ever did a house again, I would actually probably drop a few hardwire connections in the house, just because it's actually really great to run to your hubs. Like we have a mesh network in the house. Again, nerdy type shit, guys. You're like, hey, talk about alcohol, jerk. That's why we're here. But to wrap that up, I would at least put a couple of hubs and drop some hard wires in the house so you could actually run a little better. We have pretty good. I have 500 up and 500 down, and at the router, it definitely is both. Like there's no doubt about that. But the router's now 20 feet further away and three walls away. So anyway, yeah, but I'm gonna come back to. I know I've been doing bourbon, and this is terrible to switch back and forth. But this, the cherry wood stout's been sitting for a little while now from Bourbon County. I want to take one more sip of this. I'm gonna clear it with some water, and then we'll go back and forth a little bit. But Nick, if you're out there, tell me what your favorite brewery in the area is. or anyone from the Dayton area, if you're out there, if there's more than just Nick, because I know there's multiple people out there right now. Again, a kind of downfall of this whole setup I have because I use a third party to get to you guys on multiple streams is I don't get to see who's out there. I have a general idea based on chat of who's out there, but I don't know. So if you happen to be in the Dayton area or you've been to the Dayton area, tell me what one of your favorite local breweries is. So CH, I don't know what that is. Warped. Yes, Warped is downtown Dayton. They were there. I recall them. I've heard interesting things about Warp. Not bad, nothing bad. Just more about their focus on. Just check my phone. Oh, it's an Eagle Rare pick, Spirit of Ohio. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I haven't opened this one yet that I have. It doesn't have a cool sticker or anything, that's for sure. But yeah, who knows? Let me go grab it here in a second, and then we'll do it. We'll do a little bonus pour here in a minute. I hadn't planned on really going deep tonight, but it's all good. We can do that. Yeah, Eagle Rares are such an interesting animal down here. I mean, haha, rare Eagle, blah blah blah. But I mean, we don't even see the base Eagle Rare sitting on shelves. If it's here, people snap it up. Like for example, like the store I went to pick up the Eagle Rare today, which I was hoping to grab a stag pick, and it wasn't there anymore. Just an example, they had 5 cases of Blanton's, and they were blowing through them at $120 a pop, and it's just like, I get it. Blanton's is sought after, and Blanton's is coveted by a lot of people. It's also one of the bourbons that people get called taters over. Whatever. I'm not here to call you a tater over liking or not liking that, but opening a place in Huber Smokehouse and Tap Room. Well, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I know they already have one brewery in Huber. Begins with an A. Alematic, I think. Yeah, if that's right, I think it's Alematic. I obviously have not been, but the only one I've been to up there in the Dayton area is Moeller Brew Barn. And obviously, oh shit. Yeah, I'm looking left and saying a cuss word. That's a bad thing. And then Moeller Brew Barn. I've been to Hairless Hair because I know Muncie. So that's the kind of thing I'm looking for. If you have a couple places like that, there's method to my madness. Why I'm asking if there's a place that's not a brewery, but also a good alcohol establishment that is not B-dubs or Roosters or anything like that. Drop that in my ear too. I'd love to hear about that. No more details on that right now. All right, hang on. If you're there, stay there for a second. I'm gonna go grab that Eagle Rare. Okay, I'm back. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you guys for just taking a small part of your Saturday night. I really appreciate all of you. This thing is really starting to get interesting in terms of where we're getting ready to go with everything. But like I said, Eagle Rare store pick, nothing fancy, just a fun sticker down here. Their normal round sticker that says Sarasota Wine and Spirits, Single Barrel Select. So I'll pop this guy open here in a second after I finish this the Stellum. I'll take one more visit on the Stellum. Man, it's really starting to come in like a mash bill too. Someone was telling me there's a Bourbon Joint little place up on 40. Got to be a little more specific on 40 because that could be really seedy or it could be really nice. I don't know. I do remember 40. I have to tell you that. So. Oh, damn. Okay. I'm very happy about that bottle. Mr. Hill, Andrew Hill, if you are out there, which you are, don't think you are, just so you know, thank you. Tell Bavik thank you. This is Bavik's pick. Well, I don't think it's his pick. He's in the group that picked it. You guys hear me probably said the name Bavik before. Bavik owns a liquor store up there in Hackettstown, New Jersey, which is where they make all the M&Ms, all the regular M&Ms, I believe is what we determined in the world. So little facts. Listen, I'm here to drop little stupid facts for you guys. That's what I do, apparently. In the Bethel area, we'll know more. Okay, yeah, man, let me know. Absolutely. I'll chat you a little more. I'll give you a little more detail on why I'm asking. I mean, you may already be able to pick it up why, but so let me get this water in. Let me get this Eagle Rare, and then we'll see if anybody's around. If not, I'm probably gonna cut it short here. So You gotta love a fresh crack when you're. Oh wait a minute, you have to love a fresh bottle crack when you're absolutely getting the first label off. Cork cap. Oh, that was weak. That was weak. Synthetic cap. That's why. But here we go. Eagle Rare store pick, Sarasota wine and spirits. You guys heard that? Let that sit for a minute, and then we'll get in. But absolutely. So Saturday night, Bolts are down 2-0. This is not good. All right, we are a team that likes to fall behind and figure it out, but we don't like to be down 2-0 in the first 10 minutes. It's terrible. I said fresh crack. Thanks for pointing that out. I caught myself, and you had to call me out on it. I really appreciate that. Yes, fresh bottle crack. Some people think Eagle Rare, big cherry on the nose. Holy crap. Right off the rip. Some people think Eagle Rare is crack, but that's a whole different topic too. Holy cherry bomb. I've never had that from an Eagle Rare. Now, I've had 2 other Eagle Rare store picks, and they've been just unique beasts. They have not been the same thing ever. Wow. I mean, like cherry cobbler, cherry pie. There's no way the taste follows that, right? You know, when you get that, you're like, there's no way this follows that. There's no way. Let's give that another minute and let it open a little more. You know how that goes. But man, first impression right off the rip is that is the most cherry forward I've ever had. Now, I have heard other people open other store picks of Eagle Rare and have the same experience, but it's not every time, right? Some people are like, this is a little more oaky. You know, it is what it is. Just depends. I really wish there's one thing I wish that that they would do. I really wish BT would give us a little more detail, and maybe you can call and find out. I don't know, because I know they do tell you some stuff when you do call. I really wish they give you a little more detail on the actual, says on these single barrels in particular, right? I wish they give you a little more detail as to where the barrel particularly came from and things like that. What I mean by that is, like, I do enjoy that whole side of things where you can absolutely be like, hey, I've had picks and I've noticed like Barrel Warehouse J seems to be my jam when it's a high floor, and then you can kind of clue into that a little bit. And I really dig that a lot. I don't know if you guys do too. I'm just now starting to commit to memory those things, which I'm really sad about, because before I would just drink and enjoy, learn a little bit, of course. And now I'm kind of like, well, I really wish I'd have been paying a little more attention. Like on the last live stream when Mike hopped in here, you guys, last Friday. It's part of the reason why I probably don't enjoy Four Roses as much as I should, because I'd always just be like, oh, let me try the new one. Let me try a different one. Let me try whatever. No, you find your jam, stick with it, especially with something like that, because they've got so many combinations and whatnot. Guys, that's still big cherry. I mean, I'm going to give this a good little rousing. Right? I do too. I absolutely love that kind of stuff. I'm learning to really eat that up. Like, that to me is super cool. Like, that's why I enjoy even like the Russells. Like, Russells is whatever. If you don't love that profile, I totally get it. But the Russells 10, the store picks, they give you the warehouse, the floor, all of that. And you're like, cool. And again, from distillate season to distillate season, maybe the things change. In particular, like if you tried something 4 years ago, it was Rickhouse Z and floor 7. You're like, this is Rickhouse Z floor 8. It's probably gonna be better. Maybe not, but at least give you a fighting chance. So I need to take a second sip. I want that, but the initial sip had some cherry, but the cherry was not necessarily pure sweet. Had a little tartness to it, not like a tart cherry like you would expect. Okay, guys, I'm not trying to say like, oh my gosh, they made a tart cherry bomb. They didn't, but it wasn't fully sweet. It wasn't complete cough drop or anything either, is what I'm trying to portray to you guys and tell you that. So, because I know that's really undesirable for most people. For me, it is too, to be honest with you. I do understand to a certain extent. I think that's where, like, it's funny, like, if you've never actually known someone really well that's either made alcohol of any kind, whether it be beer, mead, wine, or I know one distiller personally, so I can't say I know a lot of them, but you do understand, like, there's certain flavors that they aim for and certain flavors that are undesirable. And, in this case, let me get my second sip before I kind of go any further on that point. No, no, that's just that kind of darker cherry. It's not medicinal. I was kind of worried about it at first because I was like coming off the water, coming off the cherry wood beer, um, all that. Because I took a sip of that, if you recall. Worried about that? No, it's just a darker cherry. It's really bright cherry on the nose, but it had been kind of mellowing as it opened up a little bit. So absolutely very enjoyable. I can honestly say it's probably one of the more unique, just Eagle Rares I've had actually. I've never had this much of a cherry experience with it, but it's there. And it's super, super enjoyable. So craziness. Nick, have you poured yourself anything else? I'm picking on you because you're the one that's talking the most. So, but I think you're the only one on Facebook right now. I have somebody else out there on YouTube, at least one or two, but no one's saying it. It's a little harder to chat on YouTube as well. And again, I can't actually tell that. I'm just kind of guessing based off what I put together. So I really wish I could. I'm going to look into actually changing here in the not too distant future, looking at changing over and actually doing all my own code through OBS. Again, nerd stuff, podcast, vlog, setup type crap. You guys don't care. But it gives you a little more flexibility. Right now, it's just easy through StreamYard. StreamYard is the fastest way. I will give them their props. They know what they're doing. They hook you up. Bing, bang, boom. You're on. You're just out there broadcasting, blabbing her to the internet. And whoever's willing to tune in and listen. And that's a great thing. So, but I am just curious. I'll give it one more shot. One last call for everyone. What else is in your glass? What's going on? What are you drinking on this evening? Willits small batch. Okay. Willet was a super interesting one. So we had a local tasting here where they brought in one of their sales reps. So not like a necessarily from the distillery. And you're on YouTube. Okay. I couldn't quite tell. I never know. I appreciate that. Thank you. YouTube driving things helps a lot. I mean, ultimately, that's where we want to drive people. But I'm opening up Facebook right now to make sure it's accessible and get people to come and engage. So thank you. I really appreciate that, Nick. While you're out there, if anyone's on YouTube and you're watching this, please like, comment, subscribe. Obviously, because that's what every YouTuber says, because it truly is that important for us. So, Willet was awesome. When you're in the context of tasting the whole kind of not purple tops and all that stuff, which is fun stuff. When you're in the context of tasting all just the Willet product family, Rowan's Creek, Noah's Mill, they brought Kentucky Spirit, which is supposed to be a Europe only release, but I've seen it on shelves down here now. Kentucky Spirit, I think it's called. Yeah. It's a fun product line. Am I sitting here and telling you it's going to be like the best bourbon you ever drink? No, it's probably not. But for the price point, you also have to look at it and say, now Rowan's Creek and Noah's Mill are starting to get a little up there in pricing. But for that matter, I mean, it's not bad bourbon. We had a Willet 4-year, the green tops, which finally are starting to be available down here. Like, we could not get them for a while. And I do enjoy them. They're a touch hot for me generally, right when you open or right when it opens up. But then absolutely a wonderful thing. So I am still ISO getting my first purple top, and I'm just not willing to coin up for it yet. That's the problem. We did get a shot at one here locally, and there were 2 other barrels in the state of Florida that may emerge and may have another shot at them. So we'll see. I have been fortunate enough to try a number through friends as well. When we were in Louisville, I did get to try a flight of them, and oh boy. Yeah. So yeah, Willits Willits just makes good juice. I mean, people just don't think about it. And so this is the other thing is, like, I hate to put this plug in. I don't know what your preferred vodka is, and we don't talk a lot of vodka on this show. We just don't. I mean, it's a mixer for most people. Some people drink it straight with a touch of water in it. I understand why. That's low carb. Fuck. Okay, it's 3-0. We're gonna turn this off. Anyway. Yeah, thanks, Nick. I'm on Hulu, so I am like 30 to 45 seconds behind because of Hulu, which would be my problem during the NFL season. But anyway, another topic. Wheatley vodka. That's where I was going. So Wheatley vodka is a Willet product, right? If you go to your local store and you pick up a bottle of that, you're going to help them out and help them get Willet product in for you. They also have a tequila, and I don't remember the name of it. It was very unremarkable. At least Wheatley vodka is just a serviceable vodka. So I hate to put out this is bad. Vassie's playing terrible. I hate to put out like a commercial for them almost, but like, it really does make a big difference, honestly. And that's the thing that sucks for these. I kind of feel in a way for these liquor store owners. I don't, because they're making a good amount of money. Don't get me wrong. If they run their business right, they are doing okay for themselves in most cases. But what a lot of these guys do, especially if they have a diversified product line, is they're like, hey, yeah, if you want to see a case of green tops this year or 4-year rye, hey, yeah, you have some, we need you to buy like 50 cases of Wheatley vodka. And don't quote me on the numbers, right? Like that's unfair. Um, okay, opening a Jefferson rye. Well, listen, if I talk you into it, I talk you into it. But that's fine. So it is a big, ugly, dirty game, unfortunately. And that's how it works with almost all the distilleries. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that we have that middle tier. I'm not going to go on and on about distributors. I think they do a lot of good. I think they do a lot of bad as well. But that also, evidently, that is one of the things that I just sticks in my craw. I go on for a really long time. I do have some friends that work for distributors, and I want them to have a livelihood. I do. But these distributors are the ones that have those middleware numbers. They pull the numbers and they go, oh, yeah, you're like one of my bigger accounts. And it's been this way since the beginning of time, right? Like whenever somebody bought more of something or used more of a service, they got preferential treatment. And I understand that. That's the world. But I actually feel like, to be honest with you, knowing what I do know, some of your distilleries enjoy that, and some of them don't. Some of them really don't like that. They would rather just the bottles be distributed as evenly as possible and move on with life, because they do hear about it. Just like anything with beer. Like I know, and I can tell you enough about the beer community that, because that's a whole different animal, right? Because you're involving tap handles on that, then not just bottles, right? It's yeah, exactly, right. Hey, I can't. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to put that up. Boo, distribution. Yeah, I mean, I think it's generally just outlived its welcome. To be honest with you, it's not even like. Here's the thing. If we said we're committed to keeping a 3-tier system, now you guys got me on a freaking soapbox. Okay, if we said we're dedicated to keeping a 3-tier system, but we're going to make it a lot like where there's better checks and balances here, right? What I mean by that is the distillery can come in and audit the distributor and be like, no, you're preferential treatment too much. We don't believe in that. And so we can do something, whether that means like we can self-distribute because you fucked up and you're the only game in town, or, whatever. On the other side, I'm not going to let the retailers off the hook either, to be honest with you. The retailers absolutely know how to play these games. And so some of them are absolutely playing it a lot better than others. And that's good business in some respects. In other respects, it is just greasing the distributor's palms. And I won't name names. Again, I know a lot. I shouldn't say a little more. I know a lot more on the. Yeah, I just saw that too. This is not going good for the Lightning, but we've been down 2-0 before. Colorado's a different animal. They're just different. And I'm not sure it's just all about adjustments with them. I think we're just going to have to decide to try to okay, Nate. Yeah, you got to outscore the other team to win. We're going to have to try to win games 7-5. I mean, I don't know. They just have too much firepower. It's just, it's insane. But to get off that soapbox about distributors, it's just, I understand why they were important coming out of Prohibition. We felt like, okay, it's important to have a middleman. They add value. They protect the consumer. It's building on these consumer protections. It's a weird thing. This is going to come out raw, and I don't know. I've thought it through all the way. I feel like distributors are a step in the process that actually inflame the secondary market. Fresh legs, and you can tell the difference. Yeah, I think a little bit of that too, Nick. Be honest with you. Lightning had to kind of really expend a decent amount of energy last series, which they were fresh off of the previous series. So a little bit of that. So maybe if we can get our feet underneath us for game 3, pull a game at home, we'll see. Where I was going with that is I feel like secondary market's going to, which I have one more point. The reason why I'm going here, I'm segueing in a minute. Secondary market's going to find a way to exploit anything. It doesn't really matter. But I feel like also the fact that the distributor layers in the middle, let's be honest. How many people do you know? I promise you. I probably lost my one contact, Total Wine, but I could probably go and tell you what's coming on the truck next week at Total Wine. Give me 2 weeks to go meet somebody and be friendly with them. If I hopefully truly mean to have a friendship with that person, but if I don't, I can tell you what's coming in on the trucks. I mean, their inventory system updates before it comes in. It's well known. Or I would just go straight and find somebody that works for a distributor and be like, hey, where's this going to land and what day and whatever. And I'm not saying we could ever get away from that problem. Like, I think whenever you have data and you have people that have access to data and things like that, it's going to be a problem. But where I was going to get into that whole mindset of was secondary. And I think that you're never going to get away from it. There's always going to be a secondary market, right? There is for a lot of things. Shoes. How many J's out there? You know, you guys buy a pair of J's. You can't just go buy a pair of J's. You can't. It doesn't happen. You either get in line and wait 17 hours, or you fill out a lottery form online on a Facebook page or whatever, or some other way that you actually put money out there. So same thing's happening in beer and bourbon. Let's not turn a blind eye. We know that. The real challenge here is that those folks have found a way to get a leg up through having context through distribution and or retail level. And it's really kind of sad, but you know, I don't know how we get around that. I don't have a solution, but the one thing that kind of ticked me off today was some asshat. I'm just gonna call him an asshat. I have no idea who the guy was. I won't tell you what group I saw it in. Had a 9-year purple top Willet. Not to pick on Willet, it just happened to be that. Put up for $1,000. Put up for $1,000, and then you had to supply a fucking label. Dude, you're getting 6x retail, probably more than that. Technically, I think retail on purple top. Well, 9-year purple top might be a $200 retail. You're getting 4 to 6x on retail. You can't foot for shipping this thing, which I'm sorry, you can't foot for mutual friends bringing that to someone else. And there's a lot of reasons for that. I know a lot of these people that do this heavily don't like to actually have a FedEx account. They don't like to do whatever. But unfortunately, that's the only way we can get to this stuff because of those things. I also realized like a 9-year purple top is probably something we were never meant to have access to because it went to a club, to your point, Nick, or it went to a store pick or whatever. But at the same time, I'm just like, all right, so you're trying to give us access to this. I don't mind that you're trying to put extra money in your pocket. I know legally, we're not going to go there. I'm not going to call anyone out. But, you know, it's definitely not legal, so to speak. It's, I guess because the medium, it's visible, I guess is the problem, right? Because it's been happening since the dawn of time. You think about moonshiners, bootleggers, like you could show up one day to your spot and there not be anything there. The next time you see old buddy, he'd be like, oh yeah, you used to leave $40 there. It's $50 now. You know, and so when you think about it, like, okay, well, that's been happening. It's just, we didn't have social media in the, you know, early 1900s, but it really happened. Like, that's how it worked. I don't know if you guys have seen this, like dramatizations and stuff. You would literally show up, go to a creek somewhere, drop $40 in a milk jug or something, and then you go to a second spot and pick up your hooch. That's how it would work. Well, it's kind of like that on Facebook when you think about it, only it's just way visible, right? We just have modern day bootlegging, essentially, is all it really is. Now, there's another connotation to bootlegging that absolutely is true that we don't have with that, which is like where you don't have a license to actually sell the alcohol, but you produce it. We don't have that. We just have a whole different thing. So look at that. You guys got me like a 5-minute diatribe about that shit. It's because I understand, like, we're going to have it. I don't know that we can avoid it, but we also set ourselves up to be big dumb animals too. I mean, we just need to find a better way. Like, I applaud. I think Ohio still has some self-distribution in beer, if I recall correctly. For a state that doesn't allow you to do store picks, but you can actually distribute your own beer, that doesn't make a lot of sense now, does it? You know, I'm a producer in your state, so I have different rules. I get that, but okay. I don't know. Anyway, I'm off the diatribe. I am just, you guys got me talking, and it's a rough start when you do this by yourself, guys. But look, I appreciate you guys. You're all here. Thank you for watching. If you hung out at all tonight, super appreciated. Last plug, just in case you're hanging out here, July 8th, Corporate Ladder Brewing. Gotta love Ohio. No, you don't. You don't have to. I mean, whatever. You know, I mean, so what that some team up north finally figures out how to beat Ohio State occasionally, allegedly once a decade. But fight, yeah, and the Lightning are to that point now. They're kind of like, eh. But yeah, I appreciate all of you. I appreciate anything you guys have to say. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, send those to Greg. He loves voicemails. I don't know if you know that about him. I'll give you his number. No, I won't, but he loves it. You can pass it to me and I'll call and leave him a voicemail. He absolutely loves it. And then in terms of Ryan, I mean, just he'll listen to you and he'll just pass it to me. So, but that's how that works. So Appreciate you guys. I'm going to actually cut this short this evening. I could go on and on and on. But there's, you have better things to do on a Saturday night at 9 o'clock, like watch the Lightning get possibly destroyed or find a way to make an epic comeback. Let's just leave on that note. Actually, I can't leave on that note. The note we leave on every time that I love Greg for. He came with it on the fly on our first broadcast back was be kind to yourselves. And I really mean that. Like, I can't say that I lived that last night. I was kind to myself. I didn't have the energy to come on last night. I did tonight. Thank goodness. I didn't last night. My week was just rough. I had a little, Sarah left out of town. So I was like, all right, let me just chill. I'm not in the right mindset for this. That's what I mean. Know how to take care of yourself. Be kind to yourself. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget July 8th, Corporate Ladder. If you have a place in Dayton that you really enjoy going to drink, that's your watering hole, hit me up as well. Appreciate you guys. Have a great evening. Do you want me to do 3? All right. You caught me. Here, look. 3 drinks down. It's just for you, Nick. So I hope you're watching.